Last movies of Hammer in the mid 1970s had their appeal and have only been really catching on in recent years with the modern generation. Now, this was designed to be sort of a series of movies. The first of it, the interesting title, Captain Kronos, Vampire Hunter, mix of vampirism and swashbuckling together. Now, this came out in '74, swashbuckling action horror film, written, directed by Brian Clemens, produced by Clemens and Albert Fennell for Hammer, and starring Horst Jansen, John Carson, Shane Briant, and Caroline Munro. The music score was composed by Laurie Johnson, supervised by Philip Martell. Brilliantly released on 7th of April 1974, the film was intended as the first in the series focused on the tale of the character and his loyal companions. Due to the film's violence and sexual subtext, however, Captain Kronos was rated R in North America, and Clemens' only film as director had limited appeal because the kids couldn't go. Now, in this one, Dr. Marcus calls in Captain Kronos, his army brother, to his village, which is plagued by mysterious death marked by highly accelerated aging. Kronos and his companion, the hunchback Professor Harmonius Gross, are professional vampire hunters. Gross explains to initially skeptical Marcus that the dead women are victims of a vampire who drains not blood but youth, and there are many species of vampire, as they are beasts of prey. The discovery of another victim confers Gross' explanation, and along the way, Kronos and Gross take in a local gypsy girl, Carla, played by Caroline Munro, who had been sentenced to the stocks for dancing on the Sabbath. Tough area. She repays them by helping him hunt a vampire, and she later becomes Kronos' lover. Now, Gross and Kronos conduct a mystical test that indicates the presence of vampires. Their findings are contradicted by an eyewitness who claims to have seen someone old, very old, whereas a youth-drawing vampire should appear youthful. Marcus visits the family of his late friend, Lord Hagen Durward, and speaks with his son, Paul, and his sister, Sarah. He must leave before speaking with the bedridden Lady Durward, and while riding through the woods, Marcus encounters a cloaked figure that leaves him shaken, and he finds blood on his lips. At a tavern, Kronos defeats thugs led by Caro, who were hired by Lady Durward's coachman to murder him. Kronos, Gross, Marcus, and Carla set up a network of alarm bells in the woods to announce the passage of vampires. Meanwhile, a large bat attacks and kills a young woman. Marcus realizes that he has become a vampire and begs Kronos to kill him. After various methods, including impalement with a stake and hanging, fail, Kronos accidentally pierces Marcus' chest with a cross of steel that Marcus had been wearing around his neck. Having thus determined the vampire's weakness, Kronos and Gross obtain an iron cross from a cemetery. They are accosted by angry villagers who believe that he murdered Marcus. Gross forges the cross into a sword, while Kronos conducts a nightly vigil. After seeing the Durward carriage flee the scene of a vampire attack, Kronos suspects Sarah as a vampire. Now, when Carla seeks refuge at Durward Manor to distract the household while Kronos sneaks inside, the bedridden Lady Durwald rises, reveals herself as a newly youthful vampire, and she hypnotizes Carla and Durward siblings. Lady Durward has raised her husband Hagen, William Dobbs, from the grave in the battle. She offers to mesmerize Carla to her husband, but Kronos erupts from hiding. Kronos uses the new sword, mirror blade, to turn Lady Durward's hypnotic gaze against her. He kills Lord Durward in a duel and destroys Lady Durward. The next day, Kronos bids Carla goodbye before he and Gross ride on to new adventures. Again, April 7th, and released by Paramount in the States with Bruton Films in the UK. Budget of only £160,000. Pretty good and I saw this once. It's a really good movie, but the problem is, how do you mix swords and fangs? Now, all movie called the film one of the last great Hammer film productions. In later years, the film became a cult classic, largely because of its unusual mix of supernatural horror and swashbuckling action. It was supposed to launch a series of new Hammer film productions, but in the 1970s, the studio went on hard times and closed down. Now, a novelization of the film, written by Guy Adams under the title Kronos, was published in 2011 by Arrow Publishing in association with Hammer and the Random House Group. Comic book adaptations came out in 77, 78, and 2017. For what it is very effective, but it's the second half of a double bill on many late-night, midnight showings of Hammer. And, it's really, really good. You should check it out. 3 stars out of 4. So if you like what we're doing here with our Hammer movies, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. Bye.